My dad was an educator, high school principal, as a lot of you know in this area, but at that point he was teaching down in Toronto, and then they moved to Kitchener. And he was young when they moved to Kitchener. I think he started at KCI and Forest Heights and a number of other schools. But in a really, really positive coincidence, two friends from his youth in Sarnia, a couple, also moved to Kitchener-Waterloo about the same time. And they stuck together, and they spent the next decades as incredibly close friends, traveling the world, playing a ton of cards, having a lot of laughs, going out for dinners, everything you could dream of. I mean, how important to happiness are those types of friendships? They are everything. And these guys were so lucky to have each other. But unfortunately, a little more than 10 years ago, both members of the other couple got dementia. Horrible disease. It came on extremely quickly in both cases. I mean, what are the odds of two people getting it at the same time and getting it badly? And it just kept getting worse. And they, of course, withdrew from all their social circles, as dementia victims so often do. It was very sad. But my mom and dad would have none of that. My dad was telling us that he would drive over there a couple times a week, and he would pick them up at their house and drive them back over to his house, and the four of them would play bridge. And when my dad first told me this, I wondered, as I'm sure you are, how is it people with advanced dementia play bridge? And my dad said, not well. Not well. In fact, my daughter Courtney accused my mom and my dad of handpicking their opponents to assure victory. And Dad said, well, your grandma's not above that, but I certainly am. I thought this was lovely, very nice story, but to be honest, I didn't really think about it too much. 3 or 4 weeks later, I came in from Toronto and I landed at the airport, and as I came back into Kitchener, I stopped by my parents. There was nobody there, no cars out in front, so I went in. But the other couple was there, and they were playing bridge. Surreal. I can't really describe it effectively. It was as crazy as you would think. My mom would shuffle the cards and deal them out. And then the wife would often grab them right away and reshuffle them and deal them again. One time she grabbed the cards and threw them up in the air. You know, Trump would rotate from hearts to spades and back to hearts within the same hand. You couldn't keep track of it. One time the husband actually got quite mad at Dad for not keeping proper score. And I'm just looking at all this going, holy smokes. Like, I thought, this is so sad. These two great people, great friends, people who had a big impact on me, are now disappearing under the fog of dementia. But I stayed and I kept watching. And I realized I've never been more wrong in my life than I was then. I started noticing there was so much more going on than just the card chaos I described. There was camaraderie, and there was connection, and there was comfort. It was laughter. It was 4 lifelong friends having a fantastic time. It was magical. I mean, it was really one of those beautiful scenes I've ever been exposed to. So my dad went down to the cellar to get some ginger ale, and I followed him down, and I said, Dad, it's incredible, you know, what you're doing here. I really respect it. And his unforgettable response was, David, you'll be given no greater opportunity in life, none, than the chance to bring some joy to a struggling friend. And it's so true. It really is.